Welcome back to the class. Now we will talk about fissure eruptions and basalt plateaus. These are another two types of geological structure that forms due to eruption of lava, but this eruption of lava is a little bit different than volcanic eruption. This kind of eruption occurs through these fissures. These fissures are narrow opening like a fracture on the earth crust. So without creating a cone-like structure, a mountain-like structure, these magma chamber over the years it creates a pressure. It builds a pressure on the crust, and that allows these these narrow fractures to build, and those fracture over the years turn into fissures. These fissures are those narrow openings that allow the lava to come or be released on the surface. So this is one example here in this photograph. It looks like a narrow fracture, line of fracture or fissures run through the crust, and this is like an opening which allows the magma to come out on the surface and then just simply flow on the surrounding landscape like a river. So here you can see in this schematic you have a magma chamber and you have these multiple vertical vents which allow the magma to come up on the surface, and then you have these fissures or fractures on the surface that allows these magma to just simply be released and then be spread along in the surrounding area. So this final structure that will be formed, it will be called as a basalt plateau. So this landscape which is all covered by lava, and over the years this lava will solidify, and depending on how big this magma chamber is, this eruption through the fissures will continue for thousands and millions of years, and over the time this magma will also when lava will solidify over the time. One example here in United States is a Columbia River basalt that covers about 63,000 square miles of area in around state of Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Montana. It is actually split around these three different states, and it covers a large area, and this eruption occurred about 70 million years ago, and this created a thick basaltic plateau on the ground, which is about a mile in thickness. So you can imagine the volume of lava it has erupted over the years. And then you have this another structure called flood basalt, where the lava can just simply flow over long distance within a basalt plateau, and that is also an example in the same area, Columbia Plateau in the northwestern United States, which consists of the Columbia River basalts, and this also is a very thick structure. It is about a mile in thickness, and over here the basaltic lava has spread about 90 miles in the surrounding area. Another example outside the continental US is Deccan Plateau. This is again a very large area in the west central part of Indian subcontinent, and this event has occurred about 66 million years ago, and this eruption continued for about a million years of period, and during this million year of period it has extruded or erupted about 2 million cubic kilometers of lava. So that has created a very large plateau, basaltic plateau on Indian subcontinent. There is another example here of volcanic landform. It is called as volcanic necks or plug, and these are the eroded volcanic cones expose the solidified magma inside the conduit. So here is a photograph of one of the volcanic neck here. So the way it comes into existence is like you have this volcano, and you have this conduit which is bringing all the magma up to the surface, and eventually this magma is released. And once this magma chamber empties out, there is no more eruption, there is no more release of magma. So over the year, like in the scale of thousands and millions of years, this mountain structure will be eroded away. It will be eroded away by means of weathering and erosion, and what it will leave behind is this vertical neck like a structure which is coming out from the ground. So this is sometime about 1400 feet in height. So this is one example in Shiprock, New Mexico. So this is what it looks like. So the surrounding mountain-like structure has been eroded away, but since the basaltic lava or the magma itself is very resistant to weathering process, so this will survive, but the surrounding mountain will be eroded away just because of the nature of the rock it is made up of.